of your marriage, praying for healing rather than enjoying the blessings of God. Jesus said a good tree cannot bear evil fruit, neither can an evil tree bear good fruits. If he has been beating you before marriage, you should be prepared to continue to be treated in a similar manner. If you ignore the red flag, saying love is blind, then indeed marriage will open your eyes. Have you ever found yourself in a relationship that feels more challenging than fulfilling, despite your best efforts? You're not alone. Many of us invest deeply in relationships, only to find ourselves questioning if it's the right path. In this video, 7 signs God doesn't want you with someone will uncover crucial signs that might reveal it's time to move on. Drawing from personal stories and real-life experiences, we'll explore how recognizing these signs can lead to profound growth and clarity. By the end of this video, you'll gain practical insights to help you navigate your relationships with confidence and align more closely with God's plan for your life. Don't miss out on these transformative lessons. Let's dive in and discover the guidance you need. Before we dive in, we'd love your support. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Amen. Your engagement helps us to share God's message further and bring His love and light to more people. Let's begin by examining the first sign. God allows them to hurt you. In life, sometimes we encounter people who deeply hurt us. It could be a friend we trusted or a loved one we gave our whole heart to. When we treat them well, we receive only bitter words and unkind actions in return. But remember, nothing happens without a reason. Sometimes, God allows enemies to hurt you to warn you about the path you are on and the people you are with. Imagine you are a potter, carefully molding every detail of a beautiful vase. But then, you realize the clay you are using has hidden cracks. These cracks, if not discovered, will ruin your entire creation. Similarly, God allows us to see the cracks in our relationships by allowing them to hurt your heart. He wants us to realize that not everyone is worth our affection and trust. There will be times when you wonder why God lets you suffer so much. It is because He is preparing you for something better, a stronger and more honest relationship. He wants you to understand that those who truly love you will never intentionally hurt you. Those people will stand by you through every trial and difficulty, just like the story of Joseph's life. Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob, was a talented man with a special vision given by God. However, the special love his father had for him and his prophetic dreams made his brothers jealous and resentful. Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers and had to endure many hardships and trials in life. From a free and loved man, he became a chained slave, falsely accused and imprisoned. God allowed Joseph's brothers to betray and hurt him to help him recognize relationships that were not suitable for him. God used these sufferings to lead Joseph on a path that would ultimately bring greater glory and purpose. If not for these sufferings and trials, Joseph might never have become the leader who could save his family and people during the famine. The emotional wounds helped Joseph realize that not every relationship is worth maintaining, and sometimes we need to step out of those relationships to grow and progress. Those who hurt you may be part of God's plan to help you grow and become stronger. Sometimes emotional wounds are the way God uses to help you see the real values in life. Remember, God never lets you suffer without a purpose. He always has a purpose and meaning for everything that happens in your life. God always has a good plan for your life, and sometimes He allows those around you to hurt you to help you see the path He has set for you. Trust in Him, and you will see that everything has its reason and meaning. Let God's love and light guide you through all trials and difficulties so that you can find true peace and happiness in Him. Sign 2 your life will collapse. Continuous difficulties, failures, and declines in mental, emotional, and even financial aspects can all be red flags that God sets to warn you. He wants you to pay attention to these signs, not to make you suffer, but to help you escape an unhealthy situation. Imagine your life as a house. When you build this house, you want it to stand firm on a solid foundation. But if you start noticing cracks in the walls, leaks in the roof, and a shaky foundation, it's a clear sign that something is wrong. Similarly, if you are with someone and your life goes downhill, it is God's way of telling you that the foundation of this relationship is not solid and could collapse at any moment. God always wants the best for us. He doesn't want us to be in relationships that drag us down or make our lives worse. He may allow challenges and difficulties to happen so that we realize we need to change direction. It is important that we listen and recognize these signs. When you feel your life is sliding, take time to reflect and pray. Ask God if this relationship is the cause of the difficulties you are experiencing. Open your heart to recognize the truth, even if it may be painful. God always has a better plan for you, and sometimes stepping away from an unhealthy relationship is the first step to moving toward a new life filled with blessings. We often get caught up in the whirlwind of emotions and try to make everything better. But when difficulties persist and your life becomes increasingly difficult, it's time to stop and reassess the situation. Do not be afraid to let go of an unhealthy relationship. Listen, trust, and follow His guidance. You will see that after the trials and difficulties, a new life full of blessings and joy awaits you. Sign 3: lack of fear of God. One of the most noticeable signs that God doesn't want you to be with someone is when they lack the fear of God. This is not just a matter of faith, but also a sign of disrespect towards the great Creator. Without the fear of God, a person will lack necessary restraint and a solid foundation for any relationship. It is like a car without brakes ripping down a hill with no way to stop. That is the image of a relationship in which one or both people lack the fear of God. Without restraint, without control, the relationship will easily fall into chaos and danger. God warns us about such relationships to protect us from unnecessary suffering. The fear of God is the foundation for true respect and love in every relationship, from family to friends and especially in marriage. When a person fears God, they will know how to respect and love others. They will know restraint and maintain morality in all circumstances, even in the most difficult times. Remember, a lack of fear of God is not just a personal issue, but also affects how we treat those around us. If a person does not fear God, they will not have enough respect and responsibility towards you. This is not only a major risk for the relationship, but also threatens your peace and happiness. When someone openly says they do not fear God, it is a clear sign to be cautious. A lack of fear of God means a lack of restraint and respect, which will negatively impact your relationship. Pray and seek guidance from God when facing difficult relationships. Let Him guide you and help you recognize which relationships are worth maintaining and which need to be let go of. Sign 4: constant struggles and conflicts. Continuous arguments over trivial matters, unnecessary misunderstandings, and a constant feeling of tension between both sides. These are not just normal signs of a strained relationship, but could be warnings from God that this relationship is not in line with His will. It can be easy to get caught up in the moment and try to make everything right. We often believe that if we try harder, endure more, things will get better. But when these struggles persist, it may be time for us to step back and evaluate the relationship objectively. God may allow these conflicts to remind us that this is not the path He wants us to take. Imagine a ship trying to move forward but constantly being hindered by strong waves and winds. The ship cannot progress far if it keeps getting caught in battles with nature. Similarly, a relationship constantly hindered by arguments and conflicts cannot progress and grow. God wants us to step out of these situations to find true peace and harmony. When we face ongoing conflicts, it is important to seek God's guidance through prayer and reflection. God always listens and will guide us on the right path. Trust in His plan for our lives. We may not understand everything that is happening, but God always knows what is best for us. Take time to be still and listen to God's voice. Sometimes in those quiet moments, God will show us more clearly the path He wants us to take. Do not be afraid to let go of an unsuitable relationship. Remember, God has a good plan for each of us, and He will never let us go astray. Sign 5. They only take advantage of you without reciprocating your feelings and care. There are people who come to you only when they need something, but when you need help or a bit of care, they coldly refuse. This is a strong sign from God that this relationship is not right for you. Imagine you are a bright candle in the dark, always shining and bringing warm light to those around you. But if someone only comes to you when they need your light, and when they no longer need it, they leave you alone in the dark, it is a clear sign that they are only taking advantage of you. God does not want you to live in such a relationship where your feelings and care are not genuinely reciprocated. God, in His infinite wisdom, sometimes allows us to experience rejection to protect us from greater harm. Rejection may break your heart, but it is God's way of protecting you from unhealthy relationships. He wants you to realize that you deserve sincere friends who will love and appreciate you properly. In the Bible, we can see valuable lessons from the story of David and Saul. Saul used David to achieve his own goals, but when David succeeded, Saul rejected and envied him. David had to endure much suffering, but ultimately God guided him to become the great king of Israel. This story reminds us that even if we are used and rejected, God always has a better plan for us. A real relationship should be based on balanced give and take. If you feel you are being taken advantage of, bravely step out and seek peace in God. He will give you the clarity to recognize which relationships are worth maintaining. Rejection, though painful, is also part of the grand plan God has set for you. Trust that after the hurt and pain, God will open new doors of blessings and joy for you. When you let go of unhealthy relationships, you open yourself up to the good things God has prepared for you. Always remember that you deserve real love and respect. God, with His infinite love, will guide you to relationships that bring blessings and joy. Sign 6, they lead you away from God and His light. When you start to notice your life becoming dull and losing your connection with God, it's time to be alert. These people not only push you away from the light, but also lead you into darkness, where you feel lost and distant from your faith. Imagine your life as a bright path under God's light, but then some people enter your life and start dimming that path. They pull you away from the Bible, make you abandon prayer, and stray from your spiritual habits. Instead of guiding you towards sacred values, they lure you into temptations and worldly desires. God always sends us warnings before destruction occurs. He reminds us through small signs, feelings of unease, and unfortunate events. When you find yourself losing connection with God, when you start feeling your life is spiraling down, that is when God is warning you. He wants you to realize that these people do not have good intentions and are pulling you away from His presence. When you associate with immoral people who do not respect sacred values, you will find yourself increasingly drawn into darkness. They make you forget to pray, neglect fasting, and gradually weaken your spirit. Imagine you are a lamp, and these people are strong winds constantly blowing out your light. God wants you to live in His light, nurtured by faith and love. When you get involved in unhealthy relationships, you will lose peace, lose faith, and feel your life becoming chaotic. This is a clear sign that these people are pulling you away from God. Look at the lives of the holy people in the Bible. They always kept their faith, not letting temptations and enemies pull them away from God's presence. Remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den. Despite being threatened and endangered, Daniel kept his faith in God, and He protected him from all dangers. God will always be with you, but you need to keep your faith and not let untrustworthy people lead you away from Him. Signs 7 through dreams and visions. God often communicates His will to us through dreams and visions. In moments when personal desires and passions can cloud our judgment, He brings gentle and meaningful warnings. Remember the story in the Bible about Abimelech. God appeared to him in a dream to warn him about taking Sarah, Abraham's wife. Through this intervention, he prevented a great mistake and protected Abimelech from severe consequences. This illustrates how God always cares and is willing to intervene to protect us from harmful relationships. However, God also respects our free will. He does not force but provides us with the wisdom and necessary information to make wise decisions ourselves. He is like a loving father, always ready to guide but never forcing his children down a specific path. When you receive a dream or vision, it could be a message from God. Take time to reflect and pray, asking God what He wants to convey to you through those images. These dreams may carry warnings about unhealthy relationships, signs that are hard to see with the naked eye. Through this, God shows us the right path and steers us away from dangers. Rejection or warnings through dreams are not punishments but God's way of protecting and loving us. He wants us to live in peace and happiness, and sometimes that means we must let go of unhealthy relationships. Treasure dreams and visions as precious gifts from God. It is His way of communicating and guiding us on the right path. God always has a good plan for you, and He will lead you to a life full of blessings and happiness. Dear friends, our journey today has opened a new perspective on the signs God sends to remind us of unhealthy relationships. But remember, life is not a straight path. Sometimes the twists and turns are where we find the priceless treasures of faith and growth. Imagine you are walking on a flower-filled path, each step marked by God's love and protection. Every sign He sends is a bright flower, reminding us of His presence in every moment. Do not fear letting go of what is not right. Walk courageously, believing that ahead is a new horizon where God has prepared the best for you. We cannot control everything, but we can choose how to react. Choose faith over fear, love over hate, and truth over falsehood. Let God's teachings permeate your soul, guiding you in every decision and action. Bonus. InVideo offers valuable insights by helping viewers identify and understand crucial signs that a relationship may not align with God's will. In this video, you'll uncover clear indicators such as profound emotional pain, ongoing difficulties, a lack of fear of God, and feeling taken advantage of. These signs not only help you recognize issues in your current relationship, but also enhance your self-awareness regarding your own worth and needs in relationships. The video encourages you to take time to pray and seek guidance from God, which can provide you with a clearer perspective on how to address the situation and make the best decisions for your life. Seeking God's guidance will help you realize that your current relationship may not be the best choice and that it's worth reevaluating. This guidance not only assists you in selecting healthier relationships, but also fosters patience and trust in God's direction, even when facing challenges and difficulties. The insights and tools provided in the video are designed to help you apply them to your life, enabling you to make more informed decisions about your relationships. You'll learn to recognize and move away from unhealthy relationships, creating space for more positive and meaningful connections. Furthermore, living a life guided by God's love and direction helps you avoid harmful relationships and brings peace, happiness, and prosperity into your life. Through the video, you'll experience God's protection and love, and gain a deeper understanding of how to live a life full of purpose and aligned with His plan. If this video has touched your heart and inspired you, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a comment saying amen. By doing so, you help us share God's message with a wider audience. Every small gesture can be a beacon of light, spreading God's love and grace throughout the world. Remember, life's journey is enriched when we walk with God, finding meaning and wonder in each step. Embrace His protection and love, and you will discover the beauty and blessings that life has to offer. We appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to sharing more uplifting content with you. May your day be filled with divine blessings and the light of God.